Hey everyone, today we are talking about everything you need to know about UK Railcards. Now first up, what is a rail card? And honestly, it's a great question. I like to think of a rail card kind of like a membership. So typically you will pay a lump sum for a 1-year rail card. And this can be either a physical card or a digital card. And then when you are booking train tickets, you can use your rail card to get discounted fares. The idea being that if you travel at all frequently with the trains, maybe a couple of times a month, maybe every day, whatever it is, if you are able to apply and be approved for a rail card, they can be extremely helpful to help save money. Now, the official retailer of UK Railcards is National Rail, so you can buy these cards from them directly. I, however, actually used a third-party app. Not to get confusing, and I do have a video on my channel all about the cell phone apps that you should have as an expat. Just a real quick side story, I used Trainline. I bought my rail card through Trainline, and then my rail card is saved digitally in my Trainline profile. So every time I buy tickets, I add in my rail card and I can get a discount. Now, just a heads up, each rail card is slightly different, and we're gonna go through the main ones in a second, but they all have a particular requirement or conditions on when and how you can get a discount. So this can be like you have to travel during a certain time of the day, you have to travel with a certain amount of people, you have to travel in a certain way. Like there are conditions, so you just need to be careful. It's not like you're going someplace, you apply your rail card and you automatically get a discount. It's for certain conditions. It's kind of confusing, but it will make sense in a minute. Next up, what type of rail cards are there? So there are a handful of rail cards offered through National Rail. I'm gonna give you the most popular ones. And I'm gonna put all of the links in the video description so you can read through to see the specific criteria for the card that you're interested in. So first up, we have the 16 to 17 Saver. Like the name suggests, this is for people who are either 16 or 17. If you are looking to move to the UK, it's probably likely that you're a bit older, so this card is likely not relevant. Next up, we have the 16 to 25-year-old rail card. Now this rail card gives you 1/3 off tickets throughout Great Britain for a whole year, including standard and first class advance fares. To be eligible, like the name suggests, you need to be within 16 to 25 years old, or you can actually be a mature student, 26 years or older and in full-time study. Now this particular rail card, how many times can I say that? This particular rail card is actually done in two ways. You can either pay £30 for 1 year, or you can do £70 for 3 years. Of course, it's going to depend on your own situation. How long are you gonna be in the UK for? How long are you gonna be traveling around for? It may be beneficial to do the 3 years if you are gonna be here for 3 years. If you're not too sure, it might just be better to do the 1 year. But if you do say 1 year, that's £30 to get this rail card, and then you can use it really as much as you want. You could get your money back within just a couple of trips, and then everything past that, you'll be saving money. Our next rail card is the 26 to 30-year-olds. Now, this is the card that I have. I use it whenever I can, and honestly, it saved me a lot of money. Now, like the last card, this one gives you 1/3 off tickets throughout Great Britain, and this does include standard and first class advanced fares. To be eligible for this particular one, you just have to be within the age requirement. And you can buy this particular rail card anytime before your 31st birthday, and you can keep using it for a whole year until it expires. And this particular card is only digital. That's how I have it in my Trainline app. So it's completely digital. You sign up online. It's a really simple process. And then you have that card on your mobile phone. Next up, we have the disabled person's rail card. So this gives the card holder and an adult companion discounted fares. And of course, all of the eligibility criteria type stuff I'll put in the video description. And this particular rail card is actually a bit cheaper. It is £20 for 1 year or £54 for 3 years. Our next card is the Family and Friends Rail Card. So if you are here perhaps with your whole family or with a close group of friends, this might be something that you want to look into. So the criteria is that the Family and Friends Rail Card gives you, again, 1/3 off of your tickets for up to 4 adults and 60% off for up to 4 children aged 5 to 15. Plus, you can have 2 adults named on one card, so when one card holder isn't using it, the other one can. Next up, another really popular rail card is the Network Rail Card. Now, this particular rail card gives you, again, 1/3 off of standard class fares throughout the Network Rail Card area for a whole year for up to 4 adults and 4 children when traveling together. Another great rail card choice, whether you are here in the UK with a spouse or partner or perhaps one of your friends or family members, is the Two Together Rail Card. So to be eligible for this, you just have to be 16 years or older. You don't actually need to be in a relationship with the other person. It could be a friend or a family member, but basically when you travel together, you can save money on your train. One of the conditions on this one though is between Monday and Friday, you can't travel before 9:30. So basically they want you to use it outside of peak rush hour time. Now, can visitors to the UK buy a rail card? And the answer is yes. Yes, you can. If there is a rail card that you are interested in, or perhaps you fall within the age guidelines, link in the description. When you click that, there'll be a buy now button on the webpage. You simply click that, you fill in some personal information, and that's pretty much it. Now, for some of the rail cards, you are gonna have to provide a little bit more information, but it's nothing too serious. So for the 26 to 30 rail card, which is the one that I have, I was approved almost immediately, so it wasn't a big hassle or anything, but it did ask me to provide a valid passport or a UK driving license or a national identity card number, basically to prove your date of birth, and you are who you say you are. But I did all of that through the website. It was really simple and I was approved almost immediately. One thing to keep in mind is, what if you are living in London? So the public transport in London is honestly some of the best in the world. It really truly is incredible. And typically, some people will use a Oyster card when traveling throughout London, especially if you live in London or you commute in and out of the city. Now, you can get your rail card loaded onto your Oyster card, so every time you use it, those 2 accounts are associated together. So just something to keep in mind, if you do use an Oyster card and you are interested in a rail card, make sure to link them together. Now, how do you use a rail card? So this is how I use my rail card here in the UK. So when I search for tickets, either on my laptop or on my phone, there will be an option to add how many adults or how many children. In that section that also says if you want to add a rail card. So I'll say yes, and then it'll ask me which rail card I have. I scroll down to the one that I have and I select it. Then when it shows me tickets, it is automatically applying my rail card discount if any discount is available. Of course, all of the cards have certain conditions, like when you can travel and how far it needs to be and all that kind of stuff. But if there is a discount available, it will be applied. Then I simply buy my train ticket. I go to the station and collect them from one of the kiosks. So I plug in some information, it'll print off my tickets, and then I'm good to go and I'm ready to travel. I'll then use my paper tickets to get through the barriers at the train stations. And I travel just as normal. The only thing that is different is sometimes when you are on the train, a ticket person comes by and they ask to see your ticket, basically to prove that you have the right type of ticket and you haven't, jumped on perhaps a train you didn't pay for. Now, sometimes they will then ask me for proof of my rail card because my ticket will say somewhere on it that it was purchased with a particular rail card. They will then want me to prove that. This only happens sometimes. Most of the times they don't bother. But because my rail card is digital, it is stored on my phone, so I just have to bring it up, and mine has a bunch of code on it and my photo so they can see that the rail card matches the person using it. And then that's it. So my rail card is good for a year. I can't do a multi-year, which is kind of annoying, but it just means that I will then reapply when the year is up. From one expat to another, if there is a rail card that you are eligible for, say the 26 to 30-year-old, or the 16 to 25-year-old, or the two together, it really doesn't matter. If there is one that you are eligible for and you use the train at all frequently, I really recommend buying one. The process of applying for a rail card is so simple, and really the approval is almost immediate, and the discounts just are wonderful. So if there is a rail card that you can apply for and you are eligible for, typically based on age requirements, I definitely recommend applying for it. Even if you only travel by train like twice a month, you'll pay off your rail card pretty quickly, and then you'll just keep getting discounts on top of that for the rest of the year. If you are interested in moving to the UK, or perhaps you are a new expat here, make sure to check out this video where I talk about how to budget for life in the UK. But until then, I'll see you in the next one.